talk about GDPR, we all talk about the internet, privacy, all things, but do we really understand it? I don't think I do, at least, but that's why we do have with us today Jamal Ahmed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. And how are you today?
Fantastic, alhamdulillah.
Well, just a bit of a background, obviously. You are a global data privacy leader, and obviously you're the author for the Easy Peasy Guide to GDPR. Now, just before we get into all of this, I do want to ask you, where did your journey start into data privacy?
I was stuck in compliance for a long time.
Right.
So I was doing the normal thing. I thought going to financial services, compliance, that would be the answer to my dreams and give me the lifestyle and the career that I wanted.
So when you say dreams, what was the dream at the time?
The dream was to earn enough money to give back and to have a lifestyle that meant that I didn't have to work 18 hours a day and worry about bills at the end of the month and can I go to the shop and buy this, save up for a holiday for 6 months just to go once a year and always have more money at the end of the month rather than at the end of the month comes and you're on the credit card or an overdraft.
Yes,
so that was the reality of working in compliance in financial services. And it's not like I wasn't working hard. I was working very hard and I thought my hard work would get noticed. And after some time I realized, you know what, this isn't the answer. I just feel like I'm stuck in the corporate rat race.
Right.
And so I thought I need to pivot career. And it's something that you think about. You know, you always think I need to do better, I need to do something. And you say, I'll keep my eye out for opportunities, but you don't really take things seriously. It was one Friday afternoon, I went to khutbah. At work, Jummah actually.
Right.
And one of the things that Imam was saying is the one who writes interest is same as the one who deals with interest. And on the day of judgment, Allah will give you a sword in your hand and say, for Allah and the Messenger. And that frightened me so much. And I was like, I need to change career quickly. And I made dua to Allah, please grant me something that is haram, that has a halal income, and that I can actually go and utilize my skills and enjoy the work and also get the challenges. So we want variety, we want challenge, and we also want to make an impact.
Of course.
So those three things were important to me. But when I started looking around for other opportunities, the thing that frightened me the most was being stuck here 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now and being back in the same place where I am now. Right. And so I wanted to make sure that I do something that has longevity, that has potential to do well, and also where my skills can be utilized and I can do very well. And it's halal as well. And so I went and did a deep dive into it. And the more I looked into it, the more fascinated I became, because privacy, I didn't realize, but it's so dear to Islam.
Of course.
The first written rules of any civilization in mankind come in Surah Nur, Surah Light in the Quran. And that's where the Prophet and the companions were told not to even disturb the privacy of their wives, not to enter their own houses by the back door, in case they disturb the privacy of the people that live there. Right. So I was like, wow, Islam takes privacy so seriously. And the more I looked into it, the more fascinated I'd become. And I was satisfied that that relationship between what I wanted to do spiritually and what I wanted to do vocationally came together. Amazing. And when I looked at the opportunity, one of the things people were worried about when GDPR first came is it going to be like the internet bug, right? Over midnight and then suddenly there's no career. Right. And so there was a lot of people that were saying, no, don't do it. But I believed in it and I knew I had the skills and I could add to this industry. And so I decided to pivot careers. It wasn't easy. I got rejected 73 times before I even got my first role.
73 times?
73 times.
But, okay, for someone
but that's not unusual.
I mean, it's not unusual, of course, but for someone who's trying to obviously pivot careers, surely it's a difficult thing to deal with at the time. So how did you deal with that?
So when it comes to pivoting careers, there's two things people should think about. Number one is you can either pivot within the same industry, so you change function. And so sometimes people try and do both. They try to change the function and they try to change the industry.
Right.
So I actually managed to pivot within the financial services, but I just changed my function. Sometimes people try to do both. They try to leave the industry they're in and go to a different role. So I would say, first of all, if you are someone who's thinking about pivoting, try and pivot within the same function into a different industry if you're looking for a new challenge, or if you're looking for something completely different and you're no longer satisfied where you are, or it's not working out for you, then try and stay within the same industry, because then at least that way you bring a lot of value to the table and a lot of transferable skills, and your industry knowledge goes a long way as well. And
that covers, of course, not just GDPR, or
it's relevant to anything. Everything. I mean, I'm talking about my experience from privacy, but it's advice that you can actually apply in any industry, in any scenario.
Perfect. Okay, now, how did your work grow from something so niche, something so local into something so niche? Like, GDPR is quite the niche itself. So was it something that your experience played into, or was it you got more delved into GDPR? What was it? Because you then did write a book as well.
I did. So After being rejected so many times, the industry said, you don't belong here, number one, because you are not legally qualified. I'm not a lawyer. So it's like, this is for lawyers, you don't belong here. Number two, you don't look like us. And the industry at the time when I was pivoting was dominated by middle class, middle-aged white men.
Yes.
And I remember going to one event and they thought I was part of the cloakroom staff and they gave me their coat. So clearly I didn't belong there.
No,
and so I was like, you know what, I have to do something to open up the doors for other people who are ambitious, who want to make a difference, who want to have an impact, and who care about people's fundamental right to privacy. And what is privacy? It's that the fact that you and I and every single person has the right not to be disturbed, not to be observed, and not to be interfered with about choices about their own self and their own body.
Of course.
So I was like, I feel very strongly about that. And now there's so many people that can help. And so what I found was most people in the industry was gatekeeping by making things very technical, very complicated. And a lot of it isn't their fault. They just don't know any other way. They're lawyers, they speak to other lawyers, they used to redlining contracts. And so that's the way they talk to each other.
Yes.
But then when you work operationally and you want to go to the business and you have to explain, hey, we need to do this because
it's got to be
this is the
layman
requirement.
language, if anything.
Yeah, you have to break it down. And that's what I started doing. And actually what I found was instead of trying to impress people with big words and showing them how much of the legal passage I could memorize, I was creating more of an impact and getting noticed, and my reputation was preceding me because I was able to simplify things.
And talking about reputation, of course, alhamdulillah, you were, of course, you were named the Global Data Privacy Leader of the Year with 102 nations, is that right, represented? And you were the only British Bangladeshi who was awarded at the time.
That's
but
correct.
before we do talk about it, I do want to watch a clip because I do realise we need to watch that before we talk about any more of this. So let's watch that clip. Beautiful video. I mean, of course, your journey's been, through grief. You've also had to work really hard, and you've dedicated the award to your beautiful family. Now, why do you think your work's been recognised internationally, if anything? I mean, we go into it so much as well about GDPR.
First of all, it's all from Allah, right? All praise to God. So all good things come to Him. But I've put in the effort too. I have put in the effort because one of the things I realized was we need to make privacy simple and we need to make it accessible, not just for the privileged in the West, but for everyone everywhere. Because when you look at what's happening to the Uyghur community in China, when you look at what's happening to the people in Palestine, when you look at different parts of the world and how their privacy is being violated, their fundamental basic rights is being violated, you realize that when you knock over the first right to privacy, then you start knocking over all of the other fundamental freedoms as well.
And it's a human right, if anything.
It's absolutely a human right.
No one
it's
talks
in the
about
United
it.
Nations Declaration of Human Rights
Of
that it's inalienable to every single person. Every single person is born free. And so that is very meaningful. That's something that is worth standing up for. That is something that is worth trying to reach everyone and say, hey, you have rights that protect and empower you. And if you don't know what they are, here's what they are. But more importantly, I work with organizations and I mentor ambitious professionals who want to support their organizations because they believe passionate about this too. And what we realized is by helping the organization to understand how when people trust you, they're going to give you more information because, let's be honest, data is the most valuable commodity right now, which means privacy is your best currency. But the challenge is there's too many mediocre professionals who treat it like a compliance tick box exercise, and businesses don't care about that. They see it as a cost center. What I do differently, and what I teach my academy mentees to do differently, is to use that as a strategic business advantage by going and understanding the business and talking to them about how this actually helps the business, how this helps them further the goals, how it helps them to help more people, help more patients, have a better impact. And with artificial intelligence coming in now, everything is going to get changed, everything's going to get shifted. It's not about whether we are going to use AI or not. Artificial intelligence is going to change the world as we know it. But we need responsible individuals to step up and be there to help businesses navigate to make sure we do things ethically, we do things transparently in a way that people trust us and we can benefit everyone everywhere.
Amazing. And now if you could go back and advise your younger self, would you still go down this path? Would you still, look into the world of privacy, or would you have done things differently?
That's a fantastic question because there wasn't enough data when I was looking into the privacy industry in 2018. However, if you look at the industry now, it's growing 25% year on year. It's going to be around as long as people are around because people will always need to have their rights protected.
Yes.
And so if I was giving somebody advice now, I would say, The best time to get into this field was in 2016, but the second best time is now. And it's only growing, especially with artificial intelligence coming in, and no one really understands how to govern it. So you could be at a place where very quickly, if you apply yourself, you could be leading in a few years from now, and you will definitely get noticed. And the opportunity is great. You're talking about entry-level roles starting from about 35,000. Wow. There was one of my mentees, Tahir Chowdhury, Uber driver. No professional qualifications, no degree, never worked in an office in his life. He didn't even have a CV, he didn't know what LinkedIn was when he met me. Yeah. He's earning 6 figures, flying around private jets, wow. Looking after professionals and royal families and their privacy when they hire private jets. Right. So as long as you apply yourself, even if you don't have a legal background, even if you don't have a technical background, if you want to help people, if you want challenge, if you want variety in your role, then I would say absolutely this is for you.
Amazing. I think that's beautifully put, because we think when we're trying to help people, it has to be through charity, and obviously that is one of the reasons why we help people. But it can be in different mediums as well, so that's definitely something to think about. I think I might need to reach out to you as well about this. Now that you've reached that level of recognition, what does success mean for you?
That's a very interesting question. I've never really thought about it, because I'm on a mission to transform the world. I'm on a mission to make sure that every single person, every woman, every man and every child on the planet has privacy as a basic private right. And that doesn't exist right now. So for me, it's not about the awards. It's never been about the accolades. It's never been about the achievements. It's about actually furthering the mission, bringing more people who believe in the same mission closer together, and empowering them to become world-class privacy professionals so they can go back to their organizations and make sure we have those transparent practices. So these things are acknowledgements of the effort that I'm putting in the way. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean anything. There was never the goal. Some of them I didn't even know existed until I said I was told I was nominated for. Yeah. So those things are nice to have, but that's not what the mission is about. That's not what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about changing the world, and I'm going to continue doing that in every single way I can, and I'm going to continue empowering more people. We've trained around 73,000 people. Yeah. The population is 7 billion, so we haven't even done a fraction of the work yet. Well, inshallah, you'll get to that soon, inshallah. But thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate we haven't had enough time, because I know there's so much talk about privacy, but inshallah we'll see you soon on the show again.